Welcome to this little ring making tutorial. Well, not making rings, making colour changing rings. You may think, why do you need a colour changing ring and what are they? Well, it's just a ring which is a different colour on both sides. Looks very good when you change colour of the rings as you go along. Now, I'm going to make those rings just out of normal white rings, and the way it works is what you do, you just get some of this sticky back paper. You've probably seen it lots of times before. I'm using a deep red colour here, which has got a lot of contrast to the white. So, first step is just pull back the roll there like that, so you're left with so much. Take the ring, make sure that it's clean, just knock off any crap, and pop it down on top there like that. And that is really all you need to do at this stage. Just press it down there. Then what you do is you get a craft knife, Stanley knife, and very just quickly cut the stuff out from around the outside edge. You don't need to get too close to the edge because this, save these bits because I could use them for something else later, because I'm going to do another few cuts to get it down closer to actually the place that you want to do it, where you want it to be. So just a quick cut off there like that, no problem at all. That's the first cut, and then of course you do the same thing in the middle, and of course you don't need to go too close to the edge here, just to make sure that you've got a good amount to work with around the edges. Of course I'll do some further cuts in a second. If my head is looking a bit of a funny shape here, I'm doing this mainly to test out the video function on my new DSLR camera. But two things about that. First of all, I'm using a wide angle lens, so it distorts the edges. So maybe my head's looking really big, maybe it's looking a bit smaller now, but this is the main important thing here. And the other thing is that I can't actually see the back of the camera because the screen doesn't flip round as it would do on a normal video camera. So at this stage what you need is a piece of material, because this is what you're going to do, is push the air bubbles out. Now don't push all the way around because it can leave it one big air bubble at the one edge and it can sort of crease there. So what you need to do is go around the middle here like that, and then push to the sides, push the air out the side this way. Now sometimes you can hear it as it comes out the side. Listen to that, it's like a farting noise. Oh no, it's not there. Anyway, yes, push the bubbles, there you go, and around to the outside and then also to the inside. It's important to get the bubbles out at this point because you can sort of still lift up the edges and push them out like this. But over time the bubbles do push themselves to the edges anyway. So I think that's most of the biggest bubbles out. Don't know how long I've got to record on this, but I'll do it under 10 minutes so it fits on YouTube. Anyway, so there we go, there's the bubbles out, or most of them. Now what we need to do is start cutting off. Now what you don't want to do is drag the knife over any kind of surface, because you can hear the roughness of the surface, which means you can never actually make a nice curve. So instead what you do is you keep the knife still and you actually move the ring and cut around the inside. And also what you need to do is, because this has actually got a flat edge and then it goes rounded, if the paper sticks off past the flat edge, it won't stick there at all, it can stay straight. So what you need to do is actually keep the knife at a single angle, and when you push it round like this, it'll work out. You see, it'll cut back to exactly the same angle or the same distance each place. So check this out. So it's going to be there, so all I need to do now is keep pushing. Also, this angle is important. If you tip it too much in this way, it'll cut into the ring itself and stop and sort of snag against the inside of the ring. And of course you can just buy colour changing rings, but I never really like the feel of it because they use two different plastics, two different colour plastics, combine them into one ring, and it's never actually, they don't feel like the same as normal rings to juggle, and they're sometimes a bit heavier, and they've got this rattly sound which I really dislike. And also you're stuck with the colours that the manufacturer wants you to buy, or is at least available for you. But these, I can use any colour I want. So, all the way around to the edge, and I'll just keep going a little bit further because it will be a tiny bit more. There we go. So, take this off. Now, as you can see by this little bit of white, maybe you can see it, maybe it's out of focus at that point, that means I've actually taken off a slither of the inside of the ring. But if you use a sharp knife, that should be fine. No problem at all. So that's the inside of the ring. Now, if you listen to this, see? It's not like this now, it's like this. That's a perfect cut all the way on the inside. So now we need to do the same on the outside of the ring. Here though, we're not going to go straight away because the inside of the ring sort of supports itself, whereas this is a lot more floppy. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to just, where should I start? Yeah, I guess I'll start here, and I'll just go all the way around the outside with it at this angle, and then the second time I'm going to do it, it's going to be that angle, but I'll show you why in a second. So starting off, first of all, just get rid of all the crap. And you see how when it's too big and it goes wobbly, it gets like this jagged sort of cut there. But that'll be taken off on the next time round when I cut the next time round. Of course, it does cost a little bit extra on top of your normal rings to make them colour changing, but it's only like 10 minutes per ring, maybe. And I'm making a set of 6 rings here. And you know, and the paper only costs like €5 or something for the roll, which is enough for 6 rings, no problem. So now at this point, we've got that. We've got most of the bubbles out. Actually, there's still quite a lot of bubbles here, but the bubbles take a long time to do, long time to get out, and I don't really have time for this video tutorial to just spend all the time doing bubbles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my chair up a little bit closer to the table, and I'm actually going to push it there. So now what happens? I'm going to hold this at an angle like this. And I'm going to keep it going round, and you see the ring won't move at all, and the ring will twist, but it won't move back and forwards or inside or out. Neither will the knife move. So as I cut around now, we're gonna make it so it cuts all the way back around the rounded edge of the ring, back to the flat part. So there we go. So I've got this here. I'm trying to do it so you can see it and I see it. So I'm just gonna do it like at this point here. Okay, so there we go. Now, when I start moving the ring, hopefully, it'll start cutting. Now, it's all about the smoothness. It's all about the perfectionist. It's all about the perfectionality, the perfectionist personality there. Hopefully, you can see it on the camera here. Hopefully, you can hear it as well. I'm not sure what the sound quality is like on these DSLR cameras because the microphone is just this tiny little microphone on the front. There's lots of, I was trying to think of stuff to say while I'm cutting this bit because I'm just trying to concentrate so I can't talk at the same time. I'm overly enjoying this tutorial, seeing someone create colour changing rings in real time. You see what happened there? I wasn't paying enough attention, it sort of skipped a bit, so what I'm going to have to do is go back slightly, but only a tiny bit, and pull it around there. Okay, now carry on again. Yeah, so I'm about half of the way around. Finish the outside here. Now actually, let me just show you. If I go like this, see that? But this side, it's just that last edge bit, this is the really tricky bit to cut all the way back down to the edge, to keep it all exactly the same way and to keep the edge really nice and smooth and consistent. So it takes just the concentration and consistency, and that's why I'm putting it up against my body here, so it doesn't jolt or move or get jagged in any way, except where my concentration slipped and it went a little bit jagged there before. And there we go, back around to the beginning. Now what I do is take this bit off here, there you go. So, where's that little bit of jagged stuff there? And a tiny little bit jagged there when I very first started, but otherwise, you can see that. Now that is, once I get rid of the rest of the bubbles, that will be a perfect colour changing ring. Let me just show you with 3. There you go. 2, 3. There you go, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, very effective trick, especially when you do it with like, in lots of different ways and with 5 rings and stuff like that. Colour changing rings are great. And that is how you make colour changing rings. Thanks for watching.